Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Pam wrote in and said that she works with adults with developmental disabilities and she believes that they communicate with spirit. She sees them look off quite a bit into the distance. They look like they're listening to someone else, or they just seem to wander quite a bit. Their eyes and their minds seem to wander. And she has listened to some of my videos, and she wants to know, if it really is possible that they are communicating with spirit. And absolutely, Pam, it is possible that they are communicating with spirit. You've heard me say before that they're very quick to label, especially in schools today, Asperger's and autism. That's a label that I have a problem with, because I know that many of them that are labeled are, a higher intelligence type human being, and probably chose this time, this lifetime, this body to be born into, understanding that their mission here would be one of greatness, of teaching. You've heard me say also that we don't learn anything in life through the good things that we go through. We learn in life our lessons, our greatest lessons, through our own suffering or the suffering of someone else. And I believe that's what the developmental disability people are for us. I think we learn from them. Life is very challenging for them. I have very dear friends who have children that are adults now that have these labels, or labeled with severe Asperger's or severe autism, and they just don't seem to function, at the level, the age that they should be. And it's very hard for a parent. And I will often say to parents who have children like this, who are now adults, I know it doesn't feel like an honor to have these individuals in your family, or to be the mother or the father of someone like this, but it really is an honor. Because, like I said before, I feel like you're in the presence of greatness, the presence of greatness. And you've also heard me say, if you have an opportunity to sit behind a closed door with Albert Einstein, or a closed door with someone who suffers from Down syndrome, choose the door with the Down syndrome, because they'll teach you what's really important in life, which is love, compassion, understanding, acceptance, forgiveness. These are the things that you can't learn in a book, you can't learn in a school. They're things that you're taught through, like I say, life experiences or observing others. So, but I believe that these individuals have a higher vibrational energy. I think that when they are not able to communicate with us on the level that we can communicate with each other, I absolutely believe that they are, living in the in-between, between the next dimension, which we refer to as heaven, as well as here. So I think they see spirit and hear spirit very clearly. And I think that, God has them in a very good place. And the people that suffer because of the way they are really, we suffer, to have a child like this that you worry about and wonder what's going to happen to this child. When you pass one day, who will be there to take care of them? But like I always say, it's each and every one of us. It's our own journey. So we can pray for one another. We can pray for our loved ones, who still remain here after we've gone to the world of spirit. But we understand, once we're there, that we had our journey, we lived our journey. We don't have a right to impede on their journey. We can pull in with our healing modalities when we're in full spirit and intercede for them on their behalf through prayer, but it's their journey. But I do believe very strongly that those who are labeled, like I say, in that way, the developmental disability adults and children, I believe very strongly that they do have the ability to communicate with spirit. Now, Pam went on to also say, what about someone who's schizophrenic? Because she's also worked with people who suffer from schizophrenia, and sometimes the stories that they tell are very, far-fetched. And I say mental illness is real. It does exist. So I am not saying, I've said before that a lot of the mental institution, especially years ago, were filled with people who had these special abilities that communicated with spirit, and they were misunderstood. It wasn't back then like it is today, where someone could teach us and, understand the difference. But mental illness is a real thing. So I'm not here to say every single person who's schizophrenic or who suffers from mental illness is connecting with spirit. These are real illnesses and have to be treated as such. So all I believe are people who have disabilities sometimes are misunderstood. But now, thankfully, we have places and people we can talk to today to help explain it better. Christianity is very tough on people like us. I am a Christian. I am a born and raised Roman Catholic, and I also follow spiritualism, and I am, questioned a lot recently, actually, about what I do, and it's wrong what I do, and God doesn't smile and isn't happy with what I do, and I absolutely believe that this is a God-given gift, and I believe that God smiles with every piece of evidence that I bring through to grieving parents or anyone else who finds their way to me. So I will be very strong in my beliefs and my feelings about what I do being a God-given gift, and that's why I always say I use this ability in a way that's pleasing to my Creator. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Pam, and I hope that anyone out there who has any of these special individuals in their lifetime can understand and embrace in some way that it's really an honor to have someone like this in your family, as a friend. We're all here to help one another, and we're all here to learn one another. Individuals like this, they are our greatest teachers. Okay? So, as always, I leave you in God's love and light.